Heyo, you're tuning into Toasted Time, where I cook your time with some Reddit stories, and right now we've got Best of Redditor updates, where OP and her twin sister take a genetic test, and the results are definitely questionable. Our first story is by Throwaway6064. My twin and I are fraternal twins. Recently, we took a genetic test for fun because we wanted to see what we shared and the differences between us. Since we still share genes, fraternal twins are like siblings genetically. My grandparents had suggested the test and got them for us, so our parents didn't know about it. But the results made no sense. My twin was coming up with almost completely as Eastern European and Western European, which makes sense as most of my family are Croatian, German, or Austrian, and so all of that would be accurate, but mine wasn't anything like that. It was almost completely Scandinavian with some Russian and other couple of places, neither of which were on my twin's results. She had a very small percentage of Scandinavian, but that was it. And we had no matched DNA, which clearly seemed impossible. We were literally twins. We had to share DNA. My twin said they must have mixed up sample with someone else, so we ended up contacting the company and my twin and I took the test again. It was the same result. Both my twin and I were really confused. We then told our grandparents and they just said that it was interesting and said nothing else. My twin said that we should tell our parents and see if they had ever done a genetic test, or if any of our siblings had, and then we could see if somehow ours were still right. I mean, it kind of made sense. I'd have Scandinavian because I'm much taller than my mother and quite a bit taller than my twin, and I'm way better at football and handball than she is. And I'm very blonde compared to the rest of my family, but I had thought it was the German. When we told our mother, they reacted almost the same way as my grandparents, but she seemed annoyed and said that they're inaccurate anyways, and our grandparents shouldn't have told us to take one, and when we asked our father, he basically said nothing. I'm confused. I know my twin thinks it is a mistake, but I don't think so. We have to share DNA, about 50%. That is how twins and siblings work. Even though we're fraternal, we should still share quite a bit of DNA, but other explanations don't make sense. My mother can't have cheated on my father because my twin and I would still share DNA, just less, because we would have different fathers. The results mean we can't share a parent or even be related, but I don't see why my parents would adopt me if I'm not their child, when I don't think they've ever been to Scandinavia, and why they'd adopt a baby that is almost exactly the same age as their baby. I'm panicking. The person I'm closest with in the whole world, who I thought I even shared the womb with, might not even be related to me. My birthday might not even be real. None of this makes sense, and no one is telling me the truth. I'm also scared my twin might tell her boyfriend about it, and then people might end up knowing that I'm some kind of fraud and my family isn't my family at all. Edit. I called the clinic where my mother gave birth to all of my siblings, the day of my birthday. My mother is in the records, but only for one birth. Not two, not twins. I don't know if it's an error or if my mother didn't give birth to me. And then underneath that post there was some relevant comments. OP was asked about her extended family for answers and asked her parents and grandparents. To which OP then said, I don't think they want to tell me anything. They're all acting weirdly now, and I've heard my mother yelling at people on the phone. I don't know what's going on, but there's no way they want to tell me what's going on. I looked when my twin wasn't there, but I had no close ones. Only very distant ones. Only people who are my 8th cousins and that sort of thing, so not very helpful. She sounded a bit too polite for that sometimes, and sometimes at odd times of the day, so I'm not sure if it was always my grandparents. Probably my father too. And then OP was asked if it was possible she would swap at birth, and to which OP said, sadly my mother has given birth every time in a private clinic that is very small. She prefers it. She thinks that hospitals are disgusting and she prefers knowing the doctors. So while that is possible, and I'll look into getting parental DNA done, it would be very concerning if that had happened because at most, maybe 3 or 4 other women have had given birth at the similar time as her. But possible, definitely. And then OP was asked about the birth certificate, because it might reveal details on her background, to which OP then said, I didn't think about my birth certificate. I will ask them. But if they don't give it to me, then I'm not sure it should be too difficult to find. And then people asked if the grandparents knew anything about her situation, to which OP then said, kind of. I did ask them why they suggested it, and my mother said that it doesn't matter. I said clearly it does if the results are right, but she just said that she doesn't know anything and to tell my mother that. I don't know why they deliberately upset my parents with this, but I'm only assuming that they wanted me to know. But I don't know why. I think my grandmother thinks I should figure it out myself now that I know, but I literally have no clue when no one will tell me anything at all. And then there was an update about a week later. So I'm adopted, which is probably quite obvious as soon as I got the results, but I guess I was in denial. My parents told me a couple of days ago, not much, but a bit. I know that my mother was Danish and my father's old girlfriend from when he was really young, which is seriously weird. I asked him a lot of questions, but I didn't get answers to all of them. I don't know who my father is, how my parents were able to adopt me, and why, if she's even alive. Nothing. But thankfully, I am actually legally adopted by them, which is a relief since I was worried that I might not be. And my birthday is actually my birthday, so they haven't been committing any weird fraud. It is all very weird. My sister has been acting weirdly, and my family as well. But in some ways, it is a relief. My parents still feel like my parents, and my siblings like my siblings. I know that technically they're not, but I don't feel too upset about it. I'm just upset that they lied and also won't tell me everything. I don't know if they genuinely don't know or don't want to talk about it, but at least I have an idea about everything now. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it, but I'm glad I know about things now. Plus, now I have a country that is actually good at football to support, which is nice. Maybe someday I'll find out everything, maybe not. I could probably look her up and find her if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I do, if she's still alive. Although everything is different, it doesn't feel so bad, but it does at the same time. It is very weird. But I have a family that loves me, so it could be much worse. I feel sad about my twins since we're not actually related, which feels really different, and she's been acting different as well, but I still love her a lot. And my parents as well. I think it will take some time to know how I really feel. In some ways I want to be mad at everyone and do stupid things, but that is only sometimes, and overall I feel okay, so that is good. And eventually I think I'll be content with how everything is. And then there was a relevant comment on OP looking into her background to find her biological relatives, especially birth parents. To which OP then said, I didn't think of that. Maybe at some point I will, but right now I'm happy with my family and how things are, and I don't really want to go through all that right now. To which now we enter the hypothesis power hour, or power minute, whatever you want to call it. Because I want to just hypothesize as to what happened here. So, I'm guessing, because they only mentioned about how the husband, or OP's legal father, not biological, legal father, they didn't mention anything about OP's biological father, but they did mention about her biological mother because she was the father's girlfriend. So I'm assuming that the father may no longer be here, and the okay, hold on. I'm gonna label things real quick. I'm going to label adopted mother for OP's current mother, and same for adopted father, and then just bio dad, bio mom for OP's biological mom and father. So they talked about OP's biological mother, but they didn't talk about OP's biological dad. So my assumption is maybe, I mean, OP did say that she does have cousin, like 8th cousin relations. So my hypothesis is that OP's bio mom and bio dad, they had a child, and then the bio dad or bio mom, or maybe both of them, passed away, and then OP's adopted dad had relations to OP's bio mom and dad, maybe due to either or, like the bio mom passing away or the bio dad passing away, or both of them passing away, then maybe OP's adopted dad said, "Oh, there's a child, and I was girlfriend with this bio mom at some point, so you know what? I feel obligated to take this kid in," and then formally adopted OP, and then they just kept on going. Now, the only thing I'm a little bit confused on is why the mom in this, or OP's adopted mom, would be so angry in this story. Let me think on that a little bit more. I mean, maybe the adopted mom is just upset about this coming to light because she wasn't ready to talk about it. See, and the other thing is the grandparents saying, "Oh, you should do this test," without the parents' knowledge. So in my opinion, there is a connection here happening. So maybe like the grandmother was like, "I'm gonna get one over on you by telling the daughter that she's adopted," or having her connect the dots about the fact that she's adopted. Maybe the grandmother was trying to make a jab towards adopted mom, but why would that happen? So in this hypothesis, the adopted dad took in OP because possibly OP's bio family is passed away, and then so they're together, and then grandmother wants to maybe make a jab to the mom, because OP doesn't say that her bio or adopted dad is upset, just that her adopted mom is upset. So clearly there's meant to be a jab here. Maybe the grandmother is OP's adopted dad's mom, and then that mom is trying to make a jab at adopted mom because she's spiteful of something there. This is a weird connection I'm making, and this is a complete hypothesis. Holy cow. You know what? I'm going to stop it right there. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. What do you think of this story? Actually, go in the comments right now and make your own hypothesis. What do you think the story is here? What do you think the background thing is here? Do you think maybe OP's bio parents are passed away? Maybe just the mom has passed away? Maybe just the dad has passed away? How did OP get into here? Let me know what your hypothesis on this story is. What creation are you able to create in your brain with this story? Let me know, because I'm interested to read that. But, yeah, we're going to leave it off there. Anywho, now, before I end this off, I'm going to just let you know about my podcast, where I post the same old stuff just in a form where you can listen to while going to bed, doing homework, or just something to listen to while working. But whatever the occasion, it'll be there. But enough of that. That is just about it for those stories today. And if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to become a fellow bread bag. Though, aside from that, I post 2 new videos every day on YouTube, so I hope to see you next time toasting session. But until then, have a good one.